Another dream is within reach. A student opens up a book. An entrepreneur takes another look.
America has always contained many voices, many beliefs, many backgrounds, many dreams. Disagreement is nothing new. In fact, it has been part of the American story from the very beginning. The question isn't whether people will disagree. The question is, how do we disagree without forgetting we're still neighbors? How do we solve difficult problems without losing our unity? Tonight, the Thunderdome takes on one of the most important conversations of the season. Welcome to the Thunderdome. Good evening, and welcome back to America Together Radio. Last episode, our panel explored technology and the human side of innovation. Tonight, we shift back to something even more fundamental. How does a nation of hundreds of millions of people remain united while holding so many different opinions?
You know, most families can't even agree where to eat dinner.
And somehow they usually find a way to meet again next week. Tonight's discussion isn't about pretending disagreement doesn't exist. Healthy societies debate ideas, challenge assumptions, improve one another. Our question is different. What habits help people work through disagreement without treating one another as enemies? We'll hear different philosophies, different priorities, and perhaps a few unexpected points of agreement. President Pipeline, when you hear the phrase national unity, what does it mean to you? And can people remain united even while disagreeing strongly? We'll hear your answer right after the break.
Rivers wide and open fields. The morning sun lights up the high.
Welcome back. Tonight's question: how should America solve problems without losing its unity? President Pipeline, the floor is yours.
Thank you. When I hear the phrase national unity, I don't imagine everyone thinking the same way. I imagine people remembering they belong to the same country even when they reach different conclusions. Unity doesn't require uniformity. Communities become stronger when people can debate honestly, cooperate where they can, and continue treating one another with dignity after the conversation ends.
So disagreement isn't the problem.
No, contempt is. A nation can survive disagreement. It struggles when neighbors stop believing one another are worth listening to.
That's interesting. People often say we need to get back to agreeing. Maybe what we really need is to get better at disagreeing.
I think that's much closer to the goal. Respectful disagreement leaves room for learning.
Liberty Jack, your thoughts.
Freedom means people will hold different opinions. That's not a flaw. It's evidence that people are free to think. The challenge is remembering that disagreement should not automatically become distrust. Citizens should argue passionately about ideas while defending one another's right to hold them.
So unity begins with mutual respect.
Exactly. Rights belong to people we agree with and people we don't.
One of the healthiest questions we can ask is, what am I missing? That question keeps conversations open.
And it reminds us that no single person sees every angle.
So curiosity might be one of the most patriotic habits we can develop.
I'd say that's a thoughtful observation. After the break, Lady Progress explores compassion during disagreement. Captain Constitution explains how shared principles can hold a diverse nation together. Stay with us.
Nodding in the fading light, windmills turning through another night. I've seen big cities and crowded streets, places where...
Welcome back. Tonight we're asking how America can solve difficult problems without losing its unity. We've talked about respectful disagreement, curiosity, and remembering that fellow citizens are more than their opinions. Now let's continue. Lady Progress, how can compassion help a nation stay united?
Compassion doesn't require agreement. It requires remembering that every public issue eventually touches real people. When we understand why someone believes what they believe, we don't always change our minds, but we often change the way we speak to one another.
So listening becomes part of problem solving?
Exactly. People are much more willing to search for solutions when they believe they've been heard.
Captain Constitution, what holds a diverse nation together?
Shared principles. A constitutional republic expects disagreement. It also depends upon citizens respecting lawful processes, peaceful dialogue, and the rights of one another. When those foundations remain strong, vigorous debate becomes a sign of civic health rather than civic failure.
So institutions matter because they give disagreement a peaceful framework.
Precisely. They provide a way to settle differences without abandoning unity.
President Pipeline, what stands out to you?
That we don't have to choose between conviction and respect. Communities become stronger when people can say, I disagree with you and I'm still willing to work beside you.
Freedom gives us room to disagree. Character determines how we use that freedom.
And compassion reminds us why those conversations matter.
Strong principles and respectful citizens reinforce one another.
You know it's hard to argue with someone while you're helping them unload groceries.
Shared work has a way of changing conversations. Market Maverick off microphone, especially if they brought pizza. After the break, Market Maverick discusses practical cooperation. Professor Data examines what research says about trust and civic engagement. And the People's Advocate asks how ordinary neighbors can help rebuild unity one conversation at a time. Stay with us.
I'm Jeremy Levan. Rural communities understand problems that national politics often ignores. Distance, roads, hospitals, water, agriculture, energy, broadband, schools, and local services are not abstract issues. They are daily realities. America Together 2028 wants those voices included.
By 8 o'clock, the crowd rolls on. Fresh picked produce, homemade pies, and friendly ways.
Welcome back. Tonight we've discussed respectful disagreement, shared principles, and the importance of remembering that our neighbors are more than their opinions. Now let's talk about what unity looks like in everyday life. Market Maverick and practical cooperation build unity.
Absolutely. People often discover common ground while working toward a shared goal. Rebuilding after a storm, opening a new business, improving a park, supporting the local fundraiser. When communities solve real problems together, labels tend to matter a little less and results matter a little more.
So shared work builds shared trust.
Often it does. It's hard to stereotype someone after you've spent a Saturday solving problems together.
Professor Data, what does research tell us about trust?
Communities with stronger civic participation frequently report higher levels of trust and cooperation. Volunteering, local organizations, community events, constructive dialogue. These activities help people develop relationships beyond political identity.
So trust grows through repeated positive experiences.
That is a reasonable summary.
People's Advocate, what can ordinary neighbors do?
Start small. Introduce yourself. Attend a community meeting. Volunteer. Help someone after a storm. Support a local project. Unity rarely arrives all at once. It usually grows one relationship at a time.
Quick thoughts.
Communities become stronger when people build together.
Respect is easier when people know one another personally.
Shared service often opens doors that arguments cannot.
Strong institutions are supported by strong citizens.
Stewardship begins in our own neighborhoods.
After the break, each mascot shares one habit that can help strengthen unity in everyday life. Then we'll wrap up tonight's discussion and preview our next debate. Stay with us.
The church bells ring across the square. Farmers setting up everywhere. Children laughing as...
Welcome back. Tonight we've explored a question as old as the Republic itself. How can America solve difficult problems without losing its unity? We've talked about respectful disagreement, shared principles, community service, trust. Now let's close with one final question. If you could encourage every American to practice one habit that strengthens unity, what would it be?
Meet someone where they are. Not every conversation begins with agreement. Many worthwhile friendships do.
Protect the rights of people you disagree with. Liberty means the freedom to differ without becoming enemies.
Listen long enough to understand someone's story before deciding what they believe. Compassion begins with curiosity.
Respect the peaceful processes that allow disagreements to be resolved without violence. Those traditions are worth preserving.
Lead your community a little better than you found it. Small acts of stewardship inspire others.
Work beside someone whose opinions differ from yours. Shared accomplishments often build stronger bridges than shared slogans.
Learn the names of your neighbors. Communities become stronger when strangers become familiar faces.
Remain willing to learn. New information should be welcomed rather than feared.
Unity is not the absence of disagreement. It is the decision that our disagreements will not erase our shared humanity. Healthy democracies need vigorous discussion. They also need citizens willing to listen, participate, volunteer, and keep showing up for one another. Perhaps unity is less about everyone standing in the same place and more about everyone continuing to walk toward a better future together.
So what's waiting for us next time?
Next time our panel asks, what does civic responsibility really mean? We'll explore voting, volunteering, jury service, local involvement, everyday citizenship, and the many ways ordinary people help shape their communities. You've been listening to America Together Radio, simulated mascot debate Thunderdome. Today's discussion featured fictional mascot characters created to explore civic ideas through respectful conversation. The characters are fictional. The conversations are designed to encourage thoughtful discussion, respectful disagreement, and constructive civic engagement. Thank you for listening. Until next time, keep building, keep listening, and we'll see you inside the Thunderdome.
The same as they have through the years, watching seasons come